Okay, guys, we finally made it to round two against Osiris. I recognize his name, but I don't remember how like skilled he is or whatever. He challenged my other account, so I guess I'll go ahead and whisper him. I'm on free guard this tournament. I went ahead and challenged you, and hopefully he gets the message. But what is he playing? He looks like he's playing a replacement deck. So he's got Vault Welders, Spirit Steel Infiltrators, Steel Eye Researchers, Nexus Overwatch, Tech Explorer. He's playing a really late game deck. I'm gonna respond to this guy. I just started a round in the tournament. So let me message you in a bit. I try to help people out in chat. Just Soul Forge is really hard and there's a lot to get into. So I told him he could message me whenever he needed something. So I need to try and focus on my game right now. Oops, opening up all this random stuff. Okay, so he finally accepted my invite. I'm just trying to look at his list again. He's got Ursine Strength and Dendrify and Anatomize. Anatomize is not very good. I drew all my Abyssal Brutes in my first hand, which sucks. I'll just jam. He's got he has Nexus Overwatches, so I'm gonna put this in the center lane because he wants to play them, and I don't want them to hit me. So if I play in the center lane, he can block it. His only chance is to play in the middle if he wants to level a creature. So this way, I get to kill one of his Nexus Overwatches and value, like because Abyssal Brute's just gonna die to most other creatures. Like Steel Eye Researcher's a 5/6. I don't remember his list. Torrent Soldier's a 4/6. There's a lot of creatures he could use, but if he wants to block and live, he would have to like play one of those creatures. So this is what I wanted to happen. The Nexus Overwatch leveling a Torrent Soldier. This way I get to kill this guy and probably play Scourge Hydra and Spirit Steel Infiltrator. So as intended, playing Scourge Hydra way over here because I don't want my Scourge Hydra to take too much damage from this Warclaw. I don't have another Abyssal Brute in my deck, which kind of sucks, but I still do have the whatchamacallits, Infernal Visages. I have 2 of those left. I can draw in either the next hand, or the one after that. I actually really like Barrier Soldier in this deck, unsurprisingly. I have no idea why I was playing Nexus Overwatch before. Barrier Soldier is so much stronger. I'm going to try and keep out of the center lane now, because now that I don't have any Abyssal Birds to just like trade away for his guys, I can just let him hit me for 5, especially with armor from Barrier Soldiers. Like him playing something in the middle lane where no action's going to take place, and I'm playing all my stuff in the side lanes. That just means he's going to be undermanned. So he played a Ursine Strength on his Warclaw, which sucks because that kills my guy. I could play 2 Barrier Soldiers and ignore his Warclaw. That actually might be what I do. Because I don't really want to lose one of my creatures. I can play like a Calamity Fiend to kill it, because I have 3 of those and I have another draw left. And this way I don't take any damage from his Warclaw. I'd still take 4 from his Overwatch if he doesn't kill one of my Barrier Soldiers, because I only have 10 armor and he's doing 14 damage here. But it's still better than like blocking here, losing a Barrier Soldier, taking 9, and I didn't draw the stupid Calamity Fiend, but that's whatever. I can at the very least like play Batterbot and Infernal Visage, make my Scourge Hydra absolutely gigantic. He said he can Dendrify my Scourge Hydra if he wants to, and that way my Batterbot lives from the Warclaw because it would have 10 toughness. I could also Bitterfrost Totem it, but that doesn't increase my board position that much. So it really just depends on what he decides to play. I'm just gonna ignore this Overwatch. There's no reason to block it or anything like that, unless I can get like I can block it with a Abyssal Brute, level 2 Abyssal Brute. I have 1 of those because I drew all of them in my first hand. But if I block it with an Abyssal Brute, then I get pretty good value here. Okay, what did he level with that Tech Explorer? Hasn't shown me yet. He hasn't decided yet. I'll check in a little bit. So he does 4 damage to me, and then I still think I go with the Batterbot plan. He leveled up a Vault Welder, which is a 10-14, I believe. Yeah. It's pretty good rank, too. It's got Defender, so you have to replace a Raptor or something to get the full value out of it. I think I'm still just going to ignore this Nexus Overwatch. It's not really doing a whole lot to me. It's playing... I think leveling Bitterfrost Totem is definitely worse than leveling Infernal Visage. Even though with the Bitterfrost Totem plan, I get to keep my Batterbot as a 5/8. This way... Hello? Okay. This way I kill his Warclaw. My Batterbot's really low in health, but my Tree Folk is large. Previously it was an 8/8 Scourge Hydra, now it's an 8/8 Tree Folk. And I'm most likely going to have to... I assume he's going to kill one of my Barrier Soldiers this turn. He's leveling up a Torrent Acolyte, another one of those 4/6B things. I could try to save my Batterbot here, but I don't really think Batterbot matters that much. Especially since I need, like, slots to play creatures in. So the best play, I think, is to place Scourge Hydra or Batterbot. So this does 5 damage to Scourge Hydra, so this would do 6. So I think it's better to play Scourge Hydra, because it has more power. And then deal the damage to the Batterbot, because the... I can just deal the damage to the Tree Folk, actually. Doesn't really matter, I think. Because dealing the damage to the Batterbot, if he has an Earthsign Strength, he kills my Batterbot, and I definitely don't want that to happen. So this way I at least get to trade with his Vault Welder. If he's going for the whole, I'm going to kill your guy strategy. It's possible I should have put Scourge Hydra in one of these side lanes. Does he have multiple anatomizes? That's like the only reason why he would play it. Oh my goodness, he does. Anatomize, I don't remember how it scales, so I'm going to need to look at it. So it's -4 attack and then -8 attack at rank 2. What is the play? I think I'm just going to play my 2 level 2 creatures. I don't see a reason to play anything else. I have a level 2 Infernal Visage in my deck, so makes my Spirit Stone Infiltrator a 11-14 or something like that. 11. Yeah, it's +4/+4, so it'll be an 11-14. And then I get to do a lot of damage to him while I'm still at 95. And if he kills this Barrier Soldier, I get to Infernal Visage, make my Spirit Stone Infiltrator mobility and armor. I like this deck. This is a really sweet deck. Last time everyone was playing Utera Necrium for the Roaming Warclaws and stuff, but I actually think Alliance much better than Utera. The only benefit is you get the Swamp Moss Ancient and the Dendrify, which I think are really, really good cards. But I think Palladium Wave and Barrier Soldier are at least as good as those cards. So if I were him, I would probably Spore Torrent my Infiltrator. Maybe Barrier Soldier. Can't really see doing anything else, yeah. I've got 2 choices here. I can rank up Abyssal Brood or I can rank up Scourge Hydra, because I'm definitely playing the Infernal Visage's turn. I think ranking up Scourge Hydra is probably better, honestly. Yeah. And then just damage itself, because it doesn't matter. And then get the Infernal Visage up. And then I can move this in this middle lane. I don't actually want to, though. There's no reason to, because if he has a Nexus Overwatch, we're pretty close to rank 3. So if he has a Nexus Overwatch, I'd rather him not get value out of it if he has to block the Spirit Stone Infiltrator. And I've got the 5. It was actually maybe not the greatest plan to block this Torrent Soldier. He just Dendrifies it. Okay, that's fine. He's still really low. He's at 13. Times like this, I wish Hallows hadn't been banned, so he just pumps his Torrent Soldier to kill my Scourge Hydra. I didn't even see him play that card the first time. I guess I must have not been paying enough attention to what he was leveling. What do I have in my draw for next turn? I've got a Batterbot, a Barrier Soldier, a Spirit Stone Infiltrator, and a Scourge Hydra. Didn't draw the whatchamacallit. If I Aegis Wings this Tree Folk, he goes down to, what, 4? That means basically everything in my deck kills him, even level 1 Abyssal Broods. and my guy gets mobility and slightly more difficult to kill, probably. Wait. Oh, I can put him at 1, right? Because this is plus 6 damage right here. Putting him at 1 does not put him to 0, though. So it's probably better just to play 2 creatures. Like play Barrier Soldier here, and then Scourge Hydra over here and damage the Tree Folk. That way it puts him at 7, which is still really low. And if I draw, like, Halzeth is in the format, but if I draw an Aegis Wings, it's pretty hard for him to, block my Scourge Hydra. I didn't draw the Aegis Wings, unfortunately. This has to have 20 attack, I believe? Yeah. So this only activates with a level 3 Infernal Visage, or like multiple Abyssal Brutes. But it's still pretty solid. It's like 18 toughness at rank 3. Okay, so he managed to survive the turn and kill all my creatures. Well, almost all of them. He's actually dead here because I can Bitterfrost Totem his guy and kill him. But he came pretty close to, surviving. I'm still at 93, but I believed in him. I'm not going to go ahead and copy to clipboard. I win. I get my 3rd win of the day reward. Go ahead and report this. And I have to send the challenge. So I can look at his deck again while I'm waiting. Timed. I think I saw basically everything. He didn't play the Spiritual Infiltrator or the Steelite Researchers. He played a lot of Tech Explorers. That card's really bad until level 3. I'm not a huge fan of it. I actually really like that card in general, but I just can't justify playing it in this format. It's Abyssal Brute and Infernal Visage. I think those are the best cards in the format. Those are really, really strong, and it's hard to deal with those big creatures that they make with next Tech Explorer, which is a 1/3 at rank 1 and a 5/7 at rank 2. Like, you can't afford playing it. Nexus Overwatch is also bad, but for a different reason. Nexus Overwatch is actually like decently, high power creature. It's a 5/4 and then a 10/9, which is like pretty good. But you have to play it in the center lane, and all the Necreum decks just want to play things in the side lane. So it's like you're sacrificing its ability. So it's basically a vanilla 5/4 because you can't really afford to put it in the center lane. What do I want to play here? I can play Spiritual Infiltrator and go for the Visage plan, or I can play Batterbot because Batterbot's bigger. It's probably Batterbot. Batterbot's like huge. Yeah. I don't have an Aegis Wings for it, which is unfortunate, but doesn't matter too much, I think. If he plays a Nexus Overwatch, I'll just block it with the Abyssal Brute, because I think that's like one of the best uses for Abyssal Brute. Because at rank 1, it just doesn't do anything. It like never trades for a creature. So anytime I can trade it for a creature at rank 1, I'll do it every time. I could put it in the side lane as a 5/5, but it's just worse than every other creature in my deck, so there's no reason to play a 5/5. When it could just empower like an empowered Spiritual Infiltrator, like a Barrier Soldier or Batterbot or something like that. And it is kind of awkward that Abyssal Root and Infernal Visage work against each other, sort of. Whereas you want to play things in the side lane for Infernal Visage, but you don't want to play too many things in the side lane because Abyssal Brute only works when you put them in the side lane. It's kind of a weird balance. If he anatomizes this Batterbot, he like gets me. Okay, he's just playing Steelite Researcher. Leveling up Torrent Soldier, which is the B. So I guess I just play this in the center lane for the aforementioned reason of I want to kill Nexus Overwatch. And then Spiritual Infiltrator, because it's got mobility. If I get multiple activations of this Abyssal Root, I'm going to be like in heaven. I can like move Spiritual Infiltrator out of the lane and put more things in it. I really like this interaction, Spirit Steel and Abyssal Brute. Because the Abyssal Brute gives the Spirit Steel mobility, so you can move it out, then put more things in the side lane. Or if the Abyssal Brute's big, or like you can make it live somehow, you can move it out, then move it back in, and it gets the pump again, which is really strong. It's like the only creature in the format with mobility. It's actually good. Let's see here. So this is the trade I wanted. He leveled up a Steel Eye Researcher, which is another card that levels a card. The bad thing about leveling in this format, aside from the cards not being great, is that you're leveling commons and rares, which generally don't scale that well. Like it's not like you're leveling a like a Scorchmane Dragon or whatever. It's just going to be marginally better at every rank. It makes your deck more consistent, which is good. But it's not like you're just going to play haymakers all the time like you would in higher rarity formats. So it's okay. It just anatomizes my Spiritual Infiltrator, so I can't move it out of the lane now. I could replace it, strongly considering it. Though it's probably better just Infernal Visage and then play Barrier Soldier. That way, I block his 5 damage, get to level up Barrier Soldier, and play Infernal Visage to give my guys +2/+2. It's a little more damage overall than anything else I can do, I think. Plus, it makes my Batterbot regen, so he has to deal with it as quick as possible. And I drew another Infernal Visage, which makes my Spiritual Infiltrator have mobility again. I could have put Barrier Soldier in the mid lane after my guy died, but I didn't want to do that since I don't want to trade a Nexus Overwatch for Barrier Soldier. Barrier Soldier is way better to have on the field than an Abyssal Brute, because it gives you 5 life a turn, essentially. And this is just a straight trade. And see, he has to play the Overwatch in the side lane, so he has to ignore 2 creatures to do it. And he leveled a Torrent Soldier with his Overwatch. So he has 2 leveled Torrent Soldiers, maybe 3. No, he leveled a Steel Eye Researcher with one of them. So I think I'm just gonna trade here again, because why not? I could block the Steel Eye Researcher, but it doesn't matter at all. I'd rather play a Scourge Hydra, make it like an 8/8. That way he has to Dendrify this card. So this is why Tech Explorer is bad. Like, what does this do? It just levels a card in his hand, and I guess costs him a spell. Because now his Vault Welder can attack, but who cares about Vault Welder? Maybe I should play Abyssal Brute in the side lane, but that takes away 3 damage a turn, which I'm actually... it adds up. I'd rather play Barrier Soldier here. I don't want to play anything in the center lane, because Nexus Overwatch is at 10-9 right now. Abyssal Brute kind of dies no matter where I put it, because he has 2 leveled Torrent Soldiers in his hand, so maybe it's better to play the Barrier Soldier here, let the Vault Welder attack me, battle, and then replace the Brute here, because that way he can't Torrent Soldier this. It's a 10-10, which is or 9-9 rather, which is pretty large. If he Dendrifies the Scourge Hydra, or either of these creatures, it's still fine for me. And I drew a Bitter Frost Totem, which is pretty sweet. Basically, I think this is better than putting it here, because it dies to Spore Torrent for free, which is not what I want. Because he has 2 leveled bees in his deck. I definitely don't want to just, like, lose to Spore Torrent randomly. It's not what I'm about. So what does he have for me? His best play? That's good. It's probably not his best. That's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is play Calamity Fiend in the somewhere lane. Maybe the side lane, because I can't play Calamity Fiend in the side lane because it would die. Or it wouldn't get big. Bitter Frost Stone is -6/-6. His Warclaw would only do 4 damage to my guy. It would regen back up to 7. And then I could play Calamity Fiend in the middle lane just to kill his Steel Eye Researcher. I think that's what I want to do. I get to keep Abyssal Brute for an extra turn. He has to throw an extra creature at it. I'm still not taking damage from this Vault Welder. I could actually... No, it's better to play the Calamity Fiend and shrink or kill the Steel Eye Researcher than it is to like kill the Warclaw to just get in for 9. Because this way I kill 2 of his level 2 creatures, and if I kill the Warclaw, then I'd only be killing 1 creature. He'd still have a 9/2 in my side lane, which is the place where I least want his creatures to be. Drawing Palladium Wave is probably... I'm probably going to have to cast it, because it's -4 to his whole team, which is sweet. But not drawing level 2 cards. He's going to have level 2 cards because he leveled so many things. That's one of the benefits to leveling. Looks like he played Anatomize on my Abyssal Brute, which is not great. That doesn't really do anything. Okay, so I don't know about that play. That was kind of weird. It doesn't kill my Abyssal Brute, so now I get to make a big Hydra and damage my Calamity Fiend, I guess, because nothing matters. and then just play another barrier soldier. So I'll be taking 1 from his Vault Welder. Okay, then there's all my level 2 cards. I have no idea what I'm playing in this hand. Probably Infernal Visage and Batterbot, but I'm not too sure. Maybe even Infernal Visage and Abyssal Root. It just really depends on what he has for me. Nexus Overwatch, targeting Dendrify, level 1. So now he can Dendrify my level 3 creatures. And then he probably plays a creature in front of Scourge Hydra. I think what I want to do is play Batterbot in the side lane. So now he probably poisons my Barrier Soldier. He might poison the Scourge Hydra, but I don't think that's that great, since it dies almost anyway. It'll just attack the Torrid Soldier twice. So let's see. Bitterfrost Totem or Infernal Visage kills his Torrent Soldier. So I want to play one of those. Probably the Visage, because it's really, really, really strong at rank 3. I could play Batterbot, Scourge Hydra, or Abyssal Brute. I think... I'm not sure which would be the biggest threat. Because I don't think I have any really good level 3 creatures in my deck. So maybe I want the Scourge Hydra. Because it's the largest level 3 creature. So I play Scourge Hydra and damage my Scourge Hydra, because it's going to die anyway. And then play the Infernal Visage. I could have actually damaged the Barrier Soldier, because it would have gone to 11 toughness. Taken 8, gone to 3, and then stayed alive. So it would have been way, way better to damage the Barrier Soldier. But I just wasn't thinking, I guess. Barrier Soldier has saved me so much life this game, it's actually kind of absurd. I'm still at 92, going into rank 3. Tech Explorer finally kills a creature. Value. This card's really, really... Oops, sorry, not that card. The Tech Explorer is really strong at rank 3. It's an 1820. So if he draws that, it's going to be pretty bad for me. He leveled up a Vault Welder, which is not pretty bad for me. That card is Defender. He has to replace a creature in order to get use out of it. So he made my guy 6/6. I think I'm just going to damage my Tree Folk and then kill his Nexus Overwatch, because this is -10, -10. And playing the other cards don't really do anything. Like Infernal Visage is just not the answer this time. And then I draw all level 1 cards. Not great. I need to draw that Barrier Soldier, I think, to give me more time to stall out. I definitely don't want to fight against his Tech Explorer level 3. I need to win before he starts drawing that. He has to play Nexus Overwatch on a side lane now. This is -6, -6. That puts his... I can probably kill the guy. So wait, Aegis Wings is +3, so we put it at 20 power. I could move it in this lane right here, and then Calamity Fiend the Tech Explorer to kill it. I think that's 20 damage, is half his life total at this point. Plus it moves my Scourge Hydra out of danger and makes it really hard to kill. Not even Tech Explorer kills it. And I drew the level 3 Visage, which is sweet, but I don't think it's going to do that much. It basically just makes me block his Overwatch. Yeah, see, I actually slaughter that thing. He needs to play an Earthsign Strength or Dendrify on my Scourge Hydra or something like that. Like, this is just a slaughter. Does he have it? It would be... Or Anatomize works too, because then I would have to take 2 attacks to kill my... Or to kill his Tech Explorer. Anatomize is minus... I have no idea what Anatomize is. It's just minus some amount of attack at every level. It's not that great, because it costs a spell. Even though you can play as many Anatomizes as you want, it's just worse than Palladium Wave. Okay, yeah, so that was really strange. So now I'm playing from behind, because I have nothing on the board. So I guess what I do is play this Spirit Steel Infiltrator. Palladium Wave is -6 right now. That's not going to do very much. It can -6 his Overwatch and his Vault Welder. It's, what, 12 damage right there? Plus his Tech Explorer would be an extra 18 damage. But if I can kill his guy, that's minus 16 damage right there. The only way I can do that is by playing Spirit Steel and Infernal Visage, though. Is that worth it? Probably. I think it does more than Palladium Wave. Actually, my creature lives. Holy crap. I didn't even think about that. I was sure my creature would die. So actually, now it's actually pretty hard for him to live, because I can Bitterfrost Totem his Vault Welder, move my Spirit Steel Infiltrator, and attack him for lethal. So he has to anatomize or dendrify my Spirit Steel Infiltrator, so I can't do that anymore. Which is certainly possible. He could also, I don't remember if he has Ursine Strength. He does not. He can Ursine. If he had Ursine Strength, he could like Ursine Strength this Tech Explorer to almost kill me. But he played all his cards, so he's just dead. Because I can move my Spirit Steel, Bitterfrost Totem this guy, and kill him. This is not enough damage to kill me. It's close. I'll give him that. This game was really close. That level screw was quite intense. Like this, it made the game really hard. I was so ahead in the first 2 rings, and since he leveled up, he can't. Like it's impossible for him to get level screwed, right? Since he played so many levelers. But which is like, you know, a large corner piece of his deck. I have to block this Tech Explorer. I'm gonna lose. So let's go ahead and block that. And sweet. Oh, I almost got carried away and hit battle before I actually, won the game. Because we battle there, I go into lower health than he does, so I actually just lose. So let's go ahead and paste that result in. Yeah, that was a close game. Yeah, that was... I would have liked... Very GG's. Okay. I'm going to end the video here. We're 2-0. How many rounds are there? There's at least one more round. There might be 4. It's not certain, because in the ladder tournaments, you play until there's an undefeated. So we'd have to play all the way up until 9 points or 12 points, I believe. So there's 2 6-pointers right now, and there's going to be a lot more. Yeah, so it's probably going to be 4 rounds. So I'm just going to end the video here, go talk to that guy who wanted some help, and come back for round 3.